Assalamu alaikum. May the peace of Allah be upon you, wa rahmatullah, and His mercy, wa barakatuh, and His blessing. So I have prayed for you that may God give you peace, may He give you mercy, and may He give you blessing. That's the first part. And the second part is that I have also entered a contract with you that as long as we are together, I will not deny you peace, and I will not allow others to deny you peace. I will not deny you mercy, and I will not also allow others to deny you mercy. And I will also not deny you blessing, and I will not allow others to also deny you blessing. And the woman said, from today, don't greet me with any other thing except for this thing you just said. And this is the greeting that works for us in this dunya and also in the hereafter. Because at all times, we need the peace, we need the mercy of Allah, and we also need His blessing. And this is one of the heritage we have amongst Muslims. There was a time I traveled out of the country, and one of the things that fascinated me was any masajid you enter into, you are able to interact as though you are in your hometown. Why? Because Allah has made a language to unify all of us. He has also a greeting to unify all of us. And that's part of our heritage, and we should hold them very dearly. So I again now, and I have the response. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. May Almighty Allah not deny us peace, mercy, and blessing. Ameen. Today we are here on the invitation of Sisters Halaqa. And when one of the founding members engaged me about how a particular organization came to exist, it's like it is said, inventions are mostly child of necessity. They were ladies in their mid-20s, late 20s. They came to Abuja 17 years ago, and they felt there was a vacuum in their lives, a religious vacuum, a spiritual vacuum. There is this lady, if you see in the viral video that was going around, she's a magician, but she mentioned in that video, I think it was on CNN, what potency, the efficacy of magic is reduced when she relates with Muslims. He said it's like they are in a superior realm that shields them from being attacked by magic. And this particular thing she said is because Islam is the only religion on the surface of the earth today that holds on to things. We have our moral values. We are not letting them go. And this was why people like Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Andrew Tate, all of them, this was why they accepted Islam. Andrew Tate, at a time, was the most searched person on Google. You know, you enter Google, you want to know somebody, you search their name. Andrew Tate was the most searched person on Google for many years. Of recent, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, overtook him. He accepted Islam. Why did you accept Islam? About 2 years ago, he said, this is the only religion that holds on to things. Number one, we don't play with our prophet. Don't come close. Our moral values, we don't play with them. Our heritage, we hold on to them. And because of this, we have an identity. Our women know how they should act. They know how they should dress. There's also a code for we, the men, how we should also lower our gaze and how we should also dress and guide our chastity. This is the value of Islam. And this was one of the things Sisters Halaqa wanted to bring on board. And they don't also want to be like a mango tree. One terrible thing about a mango tree is that when you have a mango tree, nothing grows under a mango tree. Nothing grows under a mango tree. They wanted to be a plant that can also have things grow under them. Why? Because they were concerned about the legacy to leave behind for the younger generations. And the little effort all of us make today, it's something we don't know the impact it will make later. Let me quickly share with you, before we officially start the program, a short story of Saladin al-Ayyubi, rahmatullahi alayhi. Saladin al-Ayyubi, there was a particular man in the 13th century. This man was a furniture maker. He was in the art of making furnitures. And at a point in time, he got a lot of walnuts and he made a mimbar, a pulpit like the one I'm using here. He made it out of walnuts. And it was so spectacular and outstanding. A lot of masajids, the owners of masajids, people, custodians of masajids started coming to him that we want this pulpit in our own masjid. And he had just a response to them. He said, this particular masjid is meant for Masjid al-Aqsa. Masjid al-Aqsa is the masjid in Jerusalem. He said, this particular masjid is meant for Masjid al-Aqsa. And most times they felt it was crazy. Why? Because at that time, the Crusaders were the ones in charge of Masjid al-Aqsa. Even as a Muslim, if you get close to Masjid al-Aqsa, you are gone. It's like a suicide attempt. But this was a man that made a pulpit for Masjid al-Aqsa. Many years went by. The legendary of that particular pulpit kept on growing, because more masajids were interested in the pulpit, but this man was not selling. He maintained the statement, this particular mimbar is meant for Masjid al-Aqsa. After about 2 decades, about 20 years, there came a lanky tall man that approached him and told him, sir, I'm here to get this pulpit. And he responded the way he has been responding to all that has come earlier. Said, this pulpit is meant for Masjid al-Aqsa. Then the man that was in his front said, yes, this pulpit is going to Masjid al-Aqsa. I am Sultan Aladdin, and I have conquered Masjid al-Aqsa for the believers. But I have a question to ask you. At the time you made this particular pulpit, no Muslim could go close to Masjid al-Aqsa. How come you made a pulpit for Masjid al-Aqsa? He said, the only thing I am good at is in furniture making. So I contributed my own little quota to the conquest of Masjid al-Aqsa. And Saladin al-Ayyubi said, it was when I heard about the legendary about this pulpit that was created for Masjid al-Aqsa, I became motivated to join the army. I was so studious with our training. Not long, I became a general. And later on, I became the Sultan. And it was the motivation from this particular furniture maker that got him to that particular pedestal, and the entire Muslims got back Masjid al-Aqsa. So what is the essence of this story is that the little things we don't count, they matter a lot. The little efforts we make might motivate somebody to do something so outstanding that we cannot even imagine. It can even do something that will have impact in generations to come. And that is what Sisters Halaqa is all about. 2 years out, there was issues in the Islamic homes. And if you look at the sociology of human interaction, it starts from the family. If we get the family right, the community, the society will be right. And that was why they came up with this thing that has always been something right behind it. Reclaiming the foundation of marriage, choosing a spouse in Islam. They are concerned about the family unit, believing that if the family unit gets it right, the community will also get it right. May I invite to the high table some of our guests that we have here. I will start, inshallah, with one of our lecturers that is already here. He's going to be speaking to us about exploring Islamic guidance on spousal compatibility and selection, in person of Ustad Abdullah Musa Abdul, popularly known as Pen Abdul. Please, you may have your seat here, sir. And also our second guest lecturer, she's not here yet, about discovering the path to fulfillment and peace in Islamic marriage. It's marriage in person of Professor Rafatu Abdul Hamid. She's not here. Once she gets here, she's here. Prof, please, you are invited, ma'am. Also to come to the high table is one of our imams in the National Masjid here, Dr. Muhammad Kabir. Dr. Muhammad Kabir, if he's here, he can join Ben Abdul on the high table. Also to come to the high table is Al-Hajj Umar Farouk. Al-Hajj Umar Farouk is not here yet. Also to come to the high table is Malam Abibullah Ibrahim. Malam Abibullah Ibrahim. We await their presence. We also quickly want to recognize some representatives of organizations that have been invited here. Malam Ibrahim Idris, Abuja Muslim Forum. Thank you for coming. Also the representative of MCAN, Malam Roji Mutahir. Malam Roji Mutahir. Also to be recognized, Muhammad Jibrin Indagi Al-Bayan. And also to be recognized as a representative of Red Cross, Malam Abu Bakr. Thank you very much for coming, and we recognize everyone here. The Almighty Allah reward all of you abundantly. May I quickly call for the welcome address by Sisters Halaqa Foundation, which will be delivered by